Hey, last time we talked, I talked to you about this little list I have here, things that are happening right now. And so to give you a little history on that, how we got to here. You know, we've had 2 world wars in the last century. 1914-15, the First World War, the Second World War. We were attacked by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. We fought that war from 41 to 45. 52 million people died in that war. America lost about 600,000. So when it says there'll be wars and rumors of wars, that's not taken in our lifetime scope. It's been in my lifetime, but because changes are slow. In Daniel chapter 12, verse 4, the Bible said in the last days, knowledge will be increased, and men will be going to and fro throughout the whole earth. I've got a book on the Biltmore Mansion down in Ashland, and North Carolina, and it's a huge mansion. And the main picture is built between the 1800s and the 1900s. It probably took 10, 12 years to build it. On the front of that is a picture of the mansion behind them, and the Vanderbilts, or the people that owned it, I think it was them, are getting into a carriage being drawn by a horse. And I just think these were like the richest people in the world. It didn't matter. Up until the late 1800s and the early 1900s, the fastest you could go was on the back of a horse. A fast horse may do 30 miles an hour. If you went to the bathroom, you had to go outside, or you had to go into a privy. A lot of these places didn't have running water and all that. Of course, the richest made ways, but it's just the way it was. When I was a boy, our toilet was in the backyard, and all the people we knew was in the backyard. That's in my lifetime. And so air conditioning, we didn't have air conditioning. Seat belts, we didn't have seat belts. The kids stood up in the seat. You know, we talked to them while we was doing 60 miles an hour down the road. So things, it's a slow burn. And just think in the last 200 years, what's happening? You know, of course, the steamship, railroads, that's how the connectivity of all of that. Edison, the light bulb, the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, all of these things that have happened that just make the world go all. And it is a great deal. But you just think now we're not waiting for Edison to find the filament for the light bulb. AI can copy everything about you we can do without you, because it's a part of what's going on. You may not notice it, but your phone may say, if you say something you like, it may say, we'll do this again by AI. In other words, they want to do all these improvements and before you get your hand off the phone. And so the culture crashed at the same speed. You know, the principles are, there is a God, He made us, we make others, we make a union, and so by marrying and having families. Well, in 1925, there was a assistant science teacher, substitute, that came into a school in Tennessee, and he brought Darwin's book with him. And he taught classes on Darwin's theory of evolution. Well, it caused all kinds of uproar, because at that time you didn't teach nothing but creation in the schools. And sure enough, it was called the Scopes Monkey Trial. It was a big trial. They made a movie about it called Inherit the Wind. Frederick March, Spencer Tracy, it was a big deal. And so they won, the conservatives won the battle, and creation still ruled, but it let it leak into the school. Now you would be pressed to try to teach anything in a class about creationalism, see, because it's all about evolution. It's all about, how this thing happened by a big bang and all that. So the first thing I wanted you to know was that there's no God. There's no creator. And then after 1925, while I was still in school, 1962 and 63, two things disappeared: prayer and the Bible. And so that was in 62 and 63. Every morning when we went to school, Lord's Prayer played over the intercom. We said the Pledge of Allegiance. And there was, the teacher had a Bible on their desk, and there was nothing for scriptures to be read. But that's gone. What was that? God didn't make you. You don't need to talk to God. Prayer. And take the Bible. We don't want God trying to talk to you. And so they capitalized on that in 1973. Not only is there not a God, He don't want to talk to you. We don't want you to talk to Him. And anything you make that's in your image, we're going to kill it. Abortion was legalized in 1973, Roe versus Wade. And then in 2015, our illustrious Supreme Court, I tell people I got more confidence in Diana Ross in the Supremes, that 9 educated people, men and women, could not figure it out that it takes a man and woman to procreate. I'll say this: you can have a civil union just by the fact that you're an American. If you're a man wants to marry a man, you have a right to do that. You have a right as an American. It's according to the Constitution. But I got bad news for you. We are not going to be judged according to the Constitution. You're going to be judged by the Word of God that still calls sin, sin, and He still calls unrighteousness, unrighteousness. So I would suggest that looking around and seeing how this, I've been fortunate. I'm in my 3/4 way through my 8th decade. I'm 77 years old. And I've watched the changes. TV, Ricky and Lucy were sleeping in bunk beds, and then it went in the 60s, All in the Family, and all those shows began to bring on bedroom scenes and sexual talk and filthy talk. And now you can't even watch your phone or watch a television deal without the F word being used or something sexual. And children can have a sex change because they go tell their counselor or their teacher that a girl says, I no longer feel like a girl, I think I'm a boy. A boy says, I think I'm a girl. And they can do it without the consent of the parent. What? Where did that come from? I can tell you where it come from. It come from hell. And so when I look at the world, it ain't just guns shooting off and all that. It's at least 51% of America believes it's all right to kill babies. That's what it takes to get a majority to vote people in that believe in that. And the only reason it's that way, I don't just blame the politicians. They're all money hungry, and a lot of them are crazy. Not all, there's some good people up there. But I'm just saying, come, Jesus, come. Come quickly. There's not a Republican, Democrat, king, or potentate can settle what's going on earth. Only Jesus. Look up. Your redemption's drawing nigh.